Because there is a large elephant in the room that you left out in this discussion on democracy. And that large elephant in the room is the American empire. Because we are now part of the American empire, we are a vassal state. And you can't talk about democracy when you're a vassal. In fact, you talked about Britain, you didn't talk about Venezuela. What has the empire done in Venezuela? It has stood at its headquarters and nominated a street kid called Guaido and said, you are now the president of Venezuela. And they have asked other people to follow, to queue behind them and recognize Guaido, including countries which you have mentioned here as democratic countries. Shame on you. Shame on Germany, shame on Sweden, shame on Britain. And you know, I lived in Britain for 16 years. I saw no democracy there. Britain is ruled by a queen. She has been a queen for how long? From 1954. It's Her Majesty's government. That's what they call it. They don't call it the government of Cameroon or the government of Theresa May. It's Her Majesty's government. She goes to the queen to accept her credentials. And this queen rules the Commonwealth. The wealth is from where? From us. Wealth they steal everywhere and plunder all these countries. And now she sits on them holding this crown, stolen from gold from South Africa. And then she is ruling over the 50 so many countries of the Commonwealth. Has she been elected to rule the Commonwealth? Where is the polling booth that voted her to lead the Commonwealth? When she dies, surprise, surprise, her son will take over from her. That's not democracy. The thing about democracy is there are few examples of it. The American empire presents itself as a democracy. When the American Constitution was written, the American Constitution has 7 articles. It classified black people as 3/5 of a man. So I don't know whether they added me and him would make a man in the American Constitution. It's still on the statute. 3/5 of a man. African people and Native Americans in section 1, article 2 and 3. Democracy, we've got to understand it. Why are we looking for it? Why do we think it's the best form of government? Why? Because the empire says we go into competitive politics. The American empire has 1,000 military bases all over the world. There are 53 military bases in Africa. They have one which is in Djibouti. You know the name of that military base? It's called Africa Command. Command who? Command me and you, sir. My brother. Africa Command. They have other military bases like the one in Entebbe. It's an American base disguised as a UN base. The United Nations, which also promotes democracy. Same as this organization I see here, National Endowment for Democracy. Yeah, it is a democracy indeed. It foments trouble everywhere around the world by sponsoring orange revolutions. This is a dangerous institution, this one. But since it has invited me here to tell it what it is, let me go ahead. Huh? Let me bring this home. A democracy is based on what? Permanent opposition. Permanent opposition. Is that a good thing for us, Africa? Before there is even something to oppose, somebody standing there with need of opposition. What are you going to oppose? I don't know. When are you going to oppose it? When it comes. You know, what are you going to say? Is that really something that we should be proud of? That there is a leader of opposition? We in Africa gave the world these institutions they are talking about. We gave the world humanity. Humanity started here in Africa. High technical civilization started in Africa. We took this high technical civilization to Europe. African people ruled Europe from 711 to 1505, March 1505, when Abu Abdillah surrendered the keys of the citadels of Alhambra. African people ruled Europe before Hannibal built the cities of Carthago Nova. African people in ancient time, we ruled the whole world. If man learned how to walk upright, it was because of us. If man learned the processes of socialization, if we learned how to fight and use missiles that fire from a distance, this was us. But now, here we are, sitting at the feet of our children. Because the first people to populate Europe were black people. They were born from Mordi. They were not white people. We've been on this earth for 5.5 million years. The brother comes from Kenya. You go to the Kenyan museum, you see the Turkana boy standing tall and proud, breasted of the sun, 1.5 million years.